Yo, what's going on, everybody? My name is Barba223, and if you haven't seen one of my videos before, I do a lot of ESO content and some other content when I'm feeling it. So, today we have a Magic Arcanist PvP build, and I just put this build together after the update to see how strong it was, and I'm rocking it in BGs and Imperial City, and my god, is it strong. Lots of damage, lots of tankiness, but we all already know Arcanist is broken as it is, so I could slop on a potato set and it still would probably work. Okay, so as always, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and if you enjoy the content, please hit that bell for notifications. Thanks, guys. Let's get into it. So, character screen. Alright, so the max stats aren't amazing, but our recoveries are solid. Okay, period. We have 18,000 magic, 35,000 health, 17,000 stamina. Unbuffed, we have 4,500 spell damage. The crit goes up to over 30, and we have 13,000 pen unbuffed. We end up getting up to almost 19,000 penetration, which is a ridiculous number. On the front bar, we have 1,100 mag recovery, 1,000 stam recovery, and then on the back bar, we have 1,900 and 1,900, and that's before we use a potion. And then for resistances, we're at 28 and 28, and we get 3,000 more when our rune procs, so we get over 30,000 resistances. This build gets a lot of buffs here. So we went 21 points into magic, 43 into health. I'm using Jewels of Misroll, I'm using the Apprentice Mundus Stone, and I actually am not using Vampire on this build. I know that sounds stupid, but Vamp is actually good. It can be good on this build. It can actually be used without the Vampire if you want. Let's be honest, Vampire is going to make it a lot more tanky. But to be honest with you, this is a newer character, so I've been testing it out. And so far it's working without Vamp because the sustain really is benefiting from no Vamp. But by all means, go Vampire. Don't flame me for not having Vamp. I'm not against it. Just go use it if you want to use it. But either way, it's still decent if you don't want to use Vampire. So anyways, yeah, that's the character screen. So let's get into the gear. Alright, so in the front bar, we're using the very predictable Vadistran. Alright. Or Vatestrand, whatever you want to say. Okay, we have the Lightning Staff. Now, Lightning Staff is going to give us different bonuses to AoE and things like that. But the Lightning Staff is very good. So we have Sharpen, and we have a Frost Glyph on. You can use whatever glyph you want. Maybe Defile to lower AoE healing because everyone does heals, but Defile now works in an AoE. So, casting weakness to elements, which we do have, within 15 meters causes the tether. They take damage, yada yada yada. It increases by 1% up to 20. I think everyone already knows this one. I think everyone already knows this set, so no need to explain it too much, but it's a lot of damage, okay, an insane amount of damage. So on the back bar, we are running Clever Alch. Now, I am using a Berserk, and I'm using Powered. Now, our heals are ridiculous. Like, literally, I'm telling you, our heals are legit ridiculous. I'm gonna go over all that, but we have 18% healing done. It's actually insane how strong our heals are. Like, it's kind of crazy. And then, well, if you don't know, Clever Alchemist gives health, spell damage, and then when you drink a potion during combat, you feel a rush of energy, increasing your weapon and spell damage by 660 for 20 seconds. Shout out to my boy Magoogan for crafting it. Alright, so Clever Alch is ridiculous. We're using a Resto Staff, and we're using Powered on it. Dude, the amount of heals that we're getting are, like, literally insurmountable. Like, it's kind of crazy. I'll go over all that when I get to the skills. For the monster set, we're using Malabeth Scourger. Now, if you don't know how Malabeth works in this patch, in my opinion, it's a buff. But Malabeth gives health, and then when you take damage, you have a 10% chance to summon a tether. When the tether holds, you now gain... The Major Vitality rework is ridiculous, boys and girls. Alright, Major Vitality gives you increased healing and healing received, okay, by 12%. And increase your damage shield strength by 12%, okay? What does that mean for Arcanist? I think you guys know what it means, all right? Our rune shield is going to be 12% stronger. It's ridiculous, and we're getting 12% healing. So we're getting 12% healing from Major Vitality, and we're getting 18% healing from our Resto Staff. We're getting 30% healing at all times, and guess what we get when we heavy attack? Major Mending. Major Mending. Major Mending, what does that do? Okay, I know I'm not leveled up all the way, I'm sorry. Major Mending is going to give you 16%. That's 46% healing, boys and girls. 46%, okay? Just from, dude, you heavy attack into a heal, you're full health, okay? 46% healing, and you get the 12% extra damage shield strength, which is already insane. I think I had a 14k, 13k damage shield in BGs. So, my goodness, this set is insane. It stacks so well with the powered on the back bar. My God. All right, you may be wondering how on earth, Barba, are you getting 18% healing and 6,500 pen on your thing, on your weapons? Because we are using Heartland Conquer. Okay, Heartland Conquer is a great set. I wanted a set that I could wear a 5-piece of at all times because we're running a weird build because we run Fate Strain on the front bar. I was like, I can either drop a Mythic, drop a Monster, or not have a 5-piece. I dropped the Mythic and I went with Malabeth, and then I am using Heartland on both sides of my bars. So we have spell damage, magic, stam, and then increase the effectiveness of your weapon traits by 1,000. Okay, so this one is insane. You're getting double the pen and double the healing done on the back bar. I mean, the heals are immaculate. Chef kiss. They're just so good. Alright, so we have all that. That's what we're running. So you're having a medium, light, heavy mix. Mostly heavy, so I like to go 5-1-1, which is what I did, 5-1-1. So you can get that Undaunted passive for 6% stats, which, by the way, I am missing. So this character is really good, but it's not leveled up all the way, which I need to go grind it. Honestly, guys, I don't feel like it, but I need to. Alright. So in the jewelry, we have Heartland, and Clever. I know they're blue, but they're crafted, so they're very expensive. I apologize. But yeah. So that's what we're running. 5 pieces of Heartland at all times. Back bar, Clever Alchemist. And then on the front bar, we have Vate Strand. So, yeah, I mean, dude, the amount of pen we get is ridiculous. So skills. Alright, so on the front bar, we are using Recuperative Treatise. So every 5 seconds, it enhances your abilities, and you're dealing 4,300 damage and restoring 600 mag and stam. So the recovery is really nice. You get a little bit over 100, so you're getting 120 recovery essentially. Very, very nice. It also regenerates a Crux. So while slotted, you get the Major Brutality and Major Sorcery. You don't even have to activate the ability to get it. You just passively get it, which is very, very nice. Here we're using Elemental Susceptibility to proc our Vate Strand, and you proc all 3 of the status effects. And if you aren't aware, let me find it. Sorry. Status effect, damage dealt with status effects by 15%, so you get a flat 15% on those status effects that you proc. Here we're using Fulminating Rune, which is just a great ability. It's a big AoE, and it lingers and then does burst damage. And then it also has a synergy, which this skill is just loaded. Here we're using Pragmatic Fate Carver, which it's still nasty. I think it got nerfed a little bit, but it's still a ridiculous ability. If you can time it with your ultimate and your stun, I mean, you're going to kill people, period. So, here we're using Writhing Rune Blade. You can use the other Rune Blades if you want, but I'm just using it to get a little bit more crit chance. You're getting a decent amount of crit chance, if I'm being completely honest. I want to say our crit chance gets up to like 30%, 30-something percent when we use this, which really isn't bad for not having Mage Light. So, really, really good. Here we're using the Tides King Gaze. Now, feel free to use Dawnbreaker, Meteor. Meteor is a really interesting option, but I like the Tides King Gaze just because it has a huge AoE, because it moves around, so it's hitting people. Sometimes people don't even know they're getting hit by it. And if you hit a Tides King Gaze and then hit a Pragmatic Fate Carver, dude, people's cheeks are getting clapped. That's all I'm saying. Alright, so you can use Dawny if you want. It's up to you. So in the back bar, we're using Crux, Weaver, Armor, a very cheap armor skill. You also apply Minor Breach, which is insane. You also generate Cruxes every 5 seconds. This skill is our bread and butter. It's really what's going to make us destroy people. It stuns people. It fears people after 1 second delay, so you line up your burst with it. Dude, the Arcanist skills are so loaded. Look how much you get for this. It's a fear. And you get Minor Vulnerability and Minor Brittle, applying 5% damage taken and 10% crit damage. I apologize. Very good. Here we're using the rune, which is buffed by our Malabeth Scourger. Now, so really it's 12% higher than this. So I mean, I'm not gonna do the math, but you're getting a 27k damage shield plus 12% of that. If I want to do the math, I want to say it goes up to almost 29, almost 30,000 shield. And then you get a 13,000 damage shield afterwards. In PvP, you are going to do a ridiculous amount of healing with it as well, because you're consuming crooks to heal yourself per crook spent. So you're healing for 12k if you absorb all 3 crookses, and you're dealing damage back to people, and you're getting a literal ridiculous shield. Like, dude, 27,000. And when you have Malabeth proc, you get even more. It's ridiculous how much of freaking heal you get. So, this skill is ridiculous. Here we're using Rune Mend, a ridiculous heal, like I said. It generates a crooks. The cost is lowered, so each one is healing you for 4,100. I don't know how many runes you actually throw. 1, 2, 3, it looks like. So very, very good. And then it does a 12% more when you have your Malabeth up, which is like always. So it's an insane skill, to be honest. And then here we're using Rune Guard of Freedom, which is, again, one of the most loaded skills in the entire game. Just on the trend of Arcanist being ridiculous. So when you cast it, you get Minor Resolve, which is crazy. So that's the buff that Vigor gives. You also get Minor Protection, which is the buff that Frost Cloak gives on Warden. So you're getting 2 things in one. And then on top of it, you're getting a ridiculous amount of buffs. So when you're damaged under 50% health, you don't have to do anything. It does it automatically. It consumes the 5% damage mitigation, and you heal for almost 13,000 freaking damage. And then you gain a 3,000 armor and crowd control immunity. Are you kidding me? This skill is literally ridiculous. Okay? So if you have this, you have this, and you have this. If all 3 of these things are up, I'm telling you right now, you aren't dying. I don't know what else to say. You shouldn't die. It's insane how well these 3 things go together. You just keep this up, and when you get low health, you have crookses available. You pop your shield and pop a heal, and I'm telling you right now, you're going to be at full health. Like, it's insane how good it heals. So, yeah, I don't know what else to say. All these numbers are going to be so inflated when we have our Clever Alchemist up too. And then lastly, your ultimate is also a loaded skill. So you absorb 60% of all damage up to 100,000. And then when the shield collapses, you lash out, doing all of the damage absorbed as magic damage to enemy over 10 seconds. Dude, like, Arcanist is crazy. Yeah. Like, these skills are insanity. So that's what we're running. If you want to use the rest of all, you can. It's up to you if you want to use Life Giver. But this skill is amazing. Alright, so these skills are legit ridiculous. Now, do you want to see the combo? I hope you do. Alright, so first you're going to proc that. You're going to hit them with this. You're going to drop that on them. You're going to generate some crookses. You're going to generate some crookses. You're going to flip to the back bar, stun them, and then hit this. Okay? Do you see the damage? Do you see the damage? And all of that is being done without the use of Clever Alchemist. Okay, so let's do this one more time. Okay? Let's do this one more time. Alright. So, yeah. So I have 13,000 physical and spell pen. We get 5,900 more. So we're at 19,000. Plus we get minor breach because of our armor skill. So that's another 3,000. So we have 22,000 penetration. Okay. 22,000. So we do this. So if you flip to the back bar and you pop that, now we have Clever Alch. Alright, so our damage goes up to 6k. Alright. 6k, which is ridiculous. Alright, so our tooltips are like insane. Alright. So your heals are 5,100 a pop, like 15k heal for there. Like, it's just insane. Did you just see what my Rune Blade healed me for? Okay, let's just show that again. 14k. 14k. It's a shield ability. 15k heal. Okay? And then this one heals you for 13k. 13k, 15k, 13k. Okay? 13, 15, 14. These 3 skills right here. Yes, it's halved in PvP, but my goodness. Okay? So let's see here. So let's kill him and redo it and see how fast we can kill him. Okay, this is just the combo here. It's a ridiculous amount of damage. Alright. So let him respawn. Pop that. Is he going to respawn ever? Oh my god. Target dummy. Come on. There we go. Alright. So we do this. Let's just do this real quick. See how fast we can kill him. I'm going to take my hands off the controller. Okay? Take my hands off the controller. I took my hands off the controller. We did 27,000 DPS by just taking my hand off the controller. Alright. I have nothing else to say about this build. I hope you enjoyed the video. Peace out. Gameplay coming soon.